Okay. Now the question is the order, right?
Yeah.
We are having two teams in every debate. So the affirmative team and the negative team. Order of the debate, he was asking. Is it the order of debate or order of the participants in the debate?
Order the debate, like which set will go first and which.
That's what I mentioned a while ago. The first team will be.
Sorry.
You were not there at that time? Not a problem. The first team is Group D, Global Youth Gavel Club and Las Leicester Champions. And the moderator will be DTM Vinod Metamal. Second debate will be between Arabian Dreams Gavels and ISM Shakespeare. Third debate will be between Tejas Gavel Club and ISG Gavel Amethyst. Fourth debate is between HSBC Gavel Club and ISM Vikram Seth. And the moderator for the fourth round is Gavalier Drishti Bade. For the moderator for the third round is Gavalier Shahini Deenadayalan. Moderator for second debate round is Gavalier Yadav Hariharan. Is there any doubts?
No, thank you.
You're welcome. So the moderator will, the debate will go like this. In each round of the debate, we will be having a moderator. Once the master of ceremonies invited the moderator on the stage or on the screen, he will be announcing the topic. Once he is announcing the topic, we are not immediately doing the debate. There will be a polling, a friendly polling for knowing in which side the audience is sitting with respect to the topic. And after that, after completing the poll, this is just for knowing the audience interest towards the topic. And after completing that poll, the debate will continue. I mean, the debate will start. He will call the first speaker from the 4 team. Then the second speaker, I mean, the second speaker in the debate will be the opening speaker from the against team. After that, the third speaker will be the rebuttal speaker from the against team. Then the fourth speaker will be the rebuttal speaker from the 4 team. Fifth speaker will be the closing speaker from the negative team or against team. And the 6th will be the closing speaker from the affirmative or 4 team. This will be the order. Once the debate is over, we will be having 15 seconds time. Then second round of poll will be happening for the same debate. At this time, you need to select the most performing team out of the 2 with respect to your view. You do not take your previous interest with that particular team. Which team is performing well that has to be the winning team. So your vote has to cast in favor of that team who is performing well. This process will continue until up to the end of 4 debates. I hope it is clear to all of you. Any doubts or any clarification? Do you have all the moderator here? Can I have the thumbs up from the moderator of all the 3? Or just enable your video and say you are present. I will read out the names of the moderator. The moderator for the second round is Gavel Yadav Hariharan.
Sir, I'm there.
You are there. The moderator for third round is Shahini Deena Dayalan.
So I'm there.
You are there. Very good. Then moderator for fourth round is Drishti Bed.
I'm here and it's Dhriti.
Dhriti?
Yes.
And the spelling? Okay. Yeah, okay. It is Dhriti. Correct. Sorry for pronouncing wrongly. It is written in the correct manner.
It's
Now
okay.
the timer. Do we have the timer 1 for last luster champion?
Yes, sir, we do.
Yes. Do we have timer 2, Aditi here?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Timer 3 from Tejas Gavel Club. Abhijay, did you assign a timer or are you serving as a timer?
So I don't think we had the timer. So I will be acting as the timer for this debate.
Definitely. No worries. For the third round. And the timer 4 will be Anson Fernandez. Anson, are you available?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I will tell the timing mechanism for the benefits of everyone. For the first round, I mean, not for the first round, for all the rounds, for the opening speech, we will be having 3 minutes. Rebuttal speech, we will be having 3 minutes. And for the closing speech, we will be having 2 minutes. So the timing indication will be for the opening and rebuttal, as it is 3 minutes, we will be showing 2 minutes, 30 seconds, the green card or the green light or any green signal. At 3 minutes, we will be showing the red card or red light or the red virtual background. After that, when 10 seconds is over, your mic will be muted automatically by the Zoom master. So I request all the speakers to pin the respective timer so that you will be able to see the timing in a proper manner. And for the closing, the timing is 2 minutes. 1 minute, 30 seconds, it is green. 2 minutes, it is red. After completion of the time, that is 2 minutes, we will be having an extra time for 10 seconds for wrap up the speech by the closing speaker. So at 2 minutes, 10 seconds, the mic of the particular speaker will be muted by the Zoom master. So in order to support this, I am making 2 counselors as the co-host, so that in case if anyone missed out, the second person can mute the speaker. So Toastmaster Anne, can I keep you as the co-host?
Sure, sir.
Okay. Then Chandrasekhar, I'm keeping
Yes.
you as a co-host.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay. What is your display name, Chandrasekhar ji? TM. Oh, it is starting from
TM Chandrasekhar.
Yeah, okay.
Should we rename the participants?
Give me a second. Yeah, I got it now. You got the invitation, right? Both of you, Toastmaster and Thomas and Toastmaster Chandrasekhar.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Now, are we good to go? Moderators, do you have any doubt? One thing I want to do before proceeding, the three moderators need to send your brief introduction to our MC Malavika Manoj by a private chat message. Malavika Manoj, I think, yeah. Moderators, can you send a brief message to Malavika how you want to introduce? You have to send it to her. Okay. So are we good to go? Counselors.
Sir, like I think it's better if we check whether all the participants are there before we start the round.
Now, especially for the debate number 1, which is between Group D Gavel Club and then Lazarus. Just
Okay, I just thought of saving the time, but it is a good
quickly
suggestion.
let us take the roll call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before
No, I'll be.
that, sir, do
Since
we
I'm.
have to send it to Malvika Rajesh?
Pardon?
Do we have to send our introductions to Malvika Rajesh?
Yes, as a private message.
Okay,
No,
thank you.
sir, I believe it's Malvika Manoj.
Yes,
Manoj.
Malavika Manoj, not Malavika Rajesh.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I'll be reading the names of the team members for all the 4 debates. If you're present, you have to tell you are present. Okay. The first debate between Group D and La Celeste, the 4 team Gavalier Kushal.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Do it a bit fast so that we can complete the formalities within the time limit. Gavalier Ashwantini.
present, sir.
Okay. Closing speaker Gavalier Netra.
Sir.
Yes. Then team against La Celeste champions. Opening speaker Gavalier Matumita.
Present, sir.
Rebuttal Gavalier Anshika.
Present, sir.
Closing Gavalier Rishwant.
Present, sir.
Very good. Then debate 2 between Tejas Gavel Club and ISG Gavel Amethyst. Tejas Gavel Club. Opening speaker Gavalier Sridev.
Yes, I am present.
Rebuttal Gavalier Malavika Rajesh.
Present, sir.
Closing speaker Gavalier Krishnendu Rajesh.
Present, sir.
Yeah. So team A, ISG Gavel Amethyst. Opening speaker Gavalier Mohammed Sishan. Rebuttal speaker Gavalier Sujanya Sriram.
Present, sir, but the order is changed.
What is the order?
I'm now the closing speaker.
And who is the
Sujanya
rebuttal speaker?
Sriram.
Pardon?
Shama Mumbai. Shama Mumbai will be the rebuttal speaker, and Sujanya Sriram is the closing speaker.
Sujanya Sriram. Can you send it as a message?
Yes, sir. will do.
Sujanya Sriram as the closing speaker. I can update that now. Then rebuttal.
Shama Mumbai.
How to spell that? SHA?
So I shall send it to you in the chat, sir.
Okay.
So it's sent.
Yeah, I got it. So I will read it again. Opening speaker, Gavalier Mohammed Session. Then the rebuttal speaker, Gavalier Shama Sushil Kumar. Closing speaker, Gavalier Sujanya Sriram. And the backup speaker, I didn't read for the rest of the thing, but I can read it here. Shama Sushil Kumar.
So
But
the
since all,
backup speaker is Rachel.
but pardon?
Backup speaker
Anyway.
is Rachel Bobby.
Rachel, okay. Give me a minute. I can send you the YouTube link so that you'll be able to share with your team members.
Kings 11 and ആരായിരുന്നു ഉച്ചയ്ക്ക്? They lost to CSK. Oh my God.
Yeah, I sent the link. I hope all of you received that. Then let me continue the debate third round. Third round I already read, right? The fourth round. It is between HSBC Gavel Club and ISM Vikram Seth. And the team members for HSBC Gavel Club, opening Gavalier Angelica Fernando, then rebuttal Gavalier Ila Gupta, then closing Gavalier Shiana Fernando.
I'm sorry, but I think we belong to debate 4 and not debate 3.
I already told it is debate 4.
Okay, sorry.
Debate 3, debate 3, it is between Tejas Gavel Club and ISG Gavel Amethyst. I already read a while ago. And the debate 4, can you mute that mic? The external noise, please. Yeah. The debate 4, as I mentioned, between HSBC Gavel Club and ISM Vikram Seth. The team members are Gavalier Angelica Fernando. Is it available? Angelica.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Ila Gupta.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Closing speaker Shiana Fernando.
I'm here.
Yes. So all the members are present. Then team A, ISM Vikram Seth, Ananya Siju.
Present, sir.
Very good. Rebuttal speaker Vanshiga Shah, Gavalier Vanshiga Shah.
Yes, sir. I'm present.
Very good.
Yes, sir.
Closing speaker Gavalier Vediga Chantra.
Present, sir.
Very good. So
could you repeat the teams for the group debate 2?
Debate 2. We already reconfirmed, right? Arabian Dreams Gavel, Gavalier Sanchana, yes. Gavalier Ashita Manohar,
Yes,
Gavalier Kalp Shah.
Yes, yes, sir. Sir,
Yes.
all are present.
Yeah. And team A, ISM Shakespeare, opening speaker Gavalier Aryan Joshi, rebuttal Gavalier Joshua Alex, then the closing Gavalier H Netra.
Sir, sorry, there's a small change.
I think there is a change here because
Yes,
Netra, Yeah. Can I have the name
Against-
here?
Yes, sir. Against team for debate 2, closing speaker is Gavel Shashmin.
How to spell that?
SHASMEEN.
SHASMM. No, can you just put it in the chat box? I don't want to spell it wrongly. Shasmin. It's a JSMEEN. Okay. Yeah. Are we good to go now? Counselors, can I have a thumbs up from you? Okay. So, my name is spelled wrongly, Angelica Fernandez. Angelica, let me correct it before we are going. Angelica, you're in which team? Yeah, okay. I got it. HSBC. Done. Yeah, since we made few corrections here, Shahini is telling Shahini it has to be moderator, right? Shahini?
So it's Shashini.
Shashini.
Yes, sir.
You are the moderator, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you, since we made certain changes, I sent the presentation before in the group. You need not take that, discard that presentation. So for all the moderators, I'll be doing the screen sharing so that you will not be having any confusion. Is it okay? Moderators, just say yes. Can I have an affirmative reply from any of the moderator?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay. Toastmaster Anne, can we go? Are we good to go?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All the counselors, anyone have any concern before we are starting?
No, we can start.
No,
yes.
We can start.
Very good. So, our subject arms for the meeting is Gavelier Angel Rose. Before that, yeah.
Sir,
Angel,
I had a small doubt regarding the timing.
tell me.
So for the timing, we don't need to say the times individually, right, for each speaker?
No, you need not tell the time individually for any round of the debate. You just need to show the timing card, green, red. Then once the red is shown, that is at 3 minutes in the first two speaker segment. Then third, it is 2 minutes. Then any of the co-host, that is either Toastmaster Ann Thomas or Toastmaster Chandrasekhar, will mute that particular speaker. So whatever you are telling afterwards will not be considered here. So one thing I want all of you to follow here, because it is our debate is going on live now. So we don't want any other talk in between, noise in between. So all of you, I request you to perfectly make it in the mute mode. Everyone. Okay. Yeah. So, Gavel, Angel, you are ready to go.
Yes, sir. It's better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. An ecstatic welcome to all senior Toastmasters, fellow Gaveliers, and dear guests. Thank you to each and every one of you for being with us here today. We are pleased to be able to welcome all of you to the Global Youth Gavel Group D debate contest. Toastmasters International, where leaders are made, is a non-profit organization dedicated to making an effective oral communication in a worldwide reality. Our club mission is to provide a mutually supportive and positive learning experience in which our members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now let's recall a few rules that is to be respected throughout the contest. I would like to request all of you present on this platform to switch off your microphones unless required to speak. Speakers are requested to refrain from making any references to politics, sex, or religion in their speeches as they are considered as taboo topics in Toastmasters International. The members of the audience are requested to refrain from crosstalk throughout the meeting. No member of the audience will be allowed to exit or enter the meeting once the contest has begun. Please make sure that your technological gadgets are well in use beforehand. Refrain from moving your camera throughout the meeting. And finally, if you have any questions or concerns, please contact DT and Vinod Metamal. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And so without further ado, I would like to call upon the person who will take this meeting forward. He's a member of many Toastmasters clubs, including Dubai Advanced Toastmasters. Is an active member of Speakers Bureau Dubai. He has hosted many events for the Toastmasters community in the past. He has won several speech contests and received the Outstanding Toastmaster of the Year award in 2009. He has served as VPPR of TGIS, VPM of Dubai Advanced and Charter VPE, and President of Williams Toastmasters Club during his persuasive journey in Toastmasters. He has been a mentor and sponsor for many Toastmasters clubs. So put your hands together for DT and Vinod Metamal.
Please give a loud round of applause to the Sergeant at Arms, Gavel Angel Ross. Thank you very much for your introduction, Gavel Angel. My dear friends, Toastmasters, counselors, and my dear young Cavaliers. After the formation of Global Youth Gavel Club, this is the second event we are conducting, we are holding under the banner of Group D Global Gavel Club. The first event, most of you might be present. It was the joint meeting where we realized the benefits of collaborating between the different Gavels club across the world. So the ideas can be shared and we be able to utilize our capabilities in a different zone than our comfortable zone, which we always used to have in our own home club. So this will allow you to enhance your capability to talk and perform as a speaker in any platform. That is the whole intention and objective of Toastmasters program among children and among elders as well. So as a second plan or a second project, we discussed to have the debate, which is not so common among children. In the Toastmasters community, for the last couple of years, we were been conducting the debate after our normal speech contest. So it was become very successful, and the entire fraternity of Toastmaster appreciated the way the debate is conducted in the Toastmaster platform. That is why we decided to provide this platform or provide this opportunity to our children in our Gavel clubs. So when we formed the Global Youth Gavel Club, after the joint meeting, this is the second idea which has come into the mind of our chief coordinator, DTM Sri Kumar Pai, and he has discussed this plan with the rest of the councillors, rest of the group chairman, and they set a green signal. They given a green signal for this opportunity, and that is why it become a reality now. So for the benefits of everyone, most of you know the rules and regulations of the debate in the Toastmaster platform. However, there are few people who are knowing the debate first time in their life. So in order to have the clarity, in order to be in the same page by everyone, I am sharing the screen which will tell you how the debate will be happening in our platform. Give me a minute for sharing the screen. Yeah. As you can see in the screen, I hope all of you can see the screen, right? Can I have a confirmation from anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As you can see, we are having two teams in every debate. The team for the topic and the team against the topic. Here the first speaker, which is denoted as F1, is the initial constructive speaker or the opening speaker for the team 4. And the time allotted is 3 minutes. Same in the case of for the against team, it is denoted as A1 here. The opening speaker or the constructive speaker will be getting 3 minutes. Then A2 stands for the second speaker from the against team who is going to rebut. Here the spelling is not correct. It is a refute. It has to be rebut. Rebut the speech of A1. That is the opening speaker of actually A1 constructive speaker. Then A2 is the rebut speaker who is going to rebut the speech of F1. Then F2 is the rebuttal speaker who is going to rebut the speech of the opening speaker of the against team. Then the summation, we will be having 2 minutes time for each team. This is for the timing regarding the debate. Then the order, first speaker will be the opening speaker from the team affirmative. Then the second speaker will be the opening speaker from the negative or against team. Third speaker will be the rebuttal speaker from the against team. Fourth speaker will be the rebuttal speaker from the for team or affirmative team. And the fifth speaker is the closing speaker from the against team. And the final speaker will be the closing speaker from the for or affirmative team. This is the order of speaking. I hope all of you are clear. Now, in order to take this debate forward, we have a beautiful Gavelier who is a very fine-tuned speaker, a VJ in a very reputed channel in Dubai. He is a very good dancer and a singer, and she is a performing artist. She is there in Tejas Gavel Club for the last 2.5 years. So with the support of all of you, please help me welcome the Master of Ceremony, the Master of Ceremony, and the Gavelier of the day, Gavelier Malaviga Manoj.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful introduction. It truly made my day. He who frames the question wins the debate. A very good evening to one and all present here. I am Malvika Manoj from Tejas Gavel Club, and I am truly thrilled to be the MC for today. Now, what is a debate? A debate is a speaking event in which two sides use a recent discourse to argue about a particular subject. A formal debate offers to a Toastmaster outstanding opportunity to develop the three basic abilities that are the foundation of the entire Toastmasters program. And now, as we all know, we have four wonderful moderators. First, I'm just going to read their names out in order. Moderator 1, DTM Vinod Metanil. Moderator 2, Gavelier Yadav. Moderator 3, Gavelier Shashini. Moderator 4, we have Dhriti Beg. And one important thing, an announcement that I would like to make is so that the audience get a better idea. There are two sets of polls for each debate. First poll is before debate round. It is before the debate round, and this is to know the audience side of the topic. And the second poll is after the debate round, and this is to choose the best debate team. So I hope that's clear. And all set, can we move on? Can I hear a yes?
Yes, definitely.
Thank you. And now it's time to call upon our first moderator. To talk about him, he himself is a mentor, a member, and a counselor of several Tejas Gavel Club. He is very handsome, a very wonderful, powerful speaker, and the greatest achievement of him is he has achieved the DTM title, that is the Distinguished Toastmaster. So please help me welcome our first moderator for today, DTM Vinod Metanil.
Thank you, Malaviga Manoj. You really made my day today. And for the whole audience, counselors, and my Toastmaster friends, good evening again. Since we are doing the debate first time, and due to some technical reason, one of the moderators who decided to come forward as the moderator is not available today in the country. So that is the reason I thought of filling the gap at the last moment with the permission and the consent of all of you. So we already discussed here the order of the speaker, the objective of the debate, and the timing mechanism for the debate. So now, as Malaviga Manoj mentioned, as your MC mentioned, we will be having two set of polls. One's for knowing which side is our entire audience is sitting, whether it is for the topic or against the topic. So we will be doing a poll in order to determine the audience side of the topic. After that, we will go with the debate. Then at the end of the debate, we will be doing another round of debate, another round of poll, I mean. So before I am calling the topic or doing the poll, I just want to have the reconfirmation from both the team that you are ready to go with the debate. The first team is a Group D Global Youth Gavel Club, and between La Celeste Champions. So I just want to have a reconfirmation from the team members. I will just read out the name once again. Gavelier Kushal.
Yes, sir.
Gavelier Yashwantini.
Yes, sir.
Gavelier Netra.
Yes, sir.
And from Team La Celeste Champions, Gavelier Madhumita,
Yes, sir.
Gavelier Anshika,
Yes, sir.
and Gavelier Rishwant.
Yes, sir.
Let me just share the screen so that you will be familiar with the topic. So the first topic, I hope all of you can see. Can I have a confirmation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The first topic is euthanasia should be banned. Euthanasia should be banned. The poll will be starting within 10 seconds. So you can get ready for that. So you just need to poll whether you are for the topic or against the topic. So I'm launching the poll here. You will be getting 1 minute 30 seconds for casting your poll. So here it goes.
Done.
Done. Yeah, the first 1 minute is over. We have 7 more participants or the audience member to cast. I'll be waiting for another 15 more seconds. Last 10 seconds. End of poll. So now it is the time for starting our debate. So let me do the screen sharing again. Yeah, the team members for the 4 team, it is Gavelier Kushal, Gavelier Yashwantini, and Gavelier Netra. They form a team which is titled as Group D GYGC, which stands for Global Youth Gavel Club. And the against team, which is Team La Celeste Champions, consists of the opening speaker, Gavelier Madhumita, and Gavelier Anshika, and Gavelier Rishwant. The topic is euthanasia should be banned. Euthanasia should be banned. Opening speaker, Gavel Kushal.
Yes, sir. Good evening, fellow Gavel Toastmasters and worthy opponents. First, let me start by defining killing is the deliberate advancement of a person's death for the benefit of the euthanasia is carried out because the person asked to die. But most of the other cases where the patient can't make such taking decisions on behalf of the patient in consultation with the family doctor. A can be carried out by either doing something such as administrating a leak injection, not doing something necessary to keep the person alive. In our opinion, it's not moral to kill a person even if they are terminally ill, because these people need or her life. But the people that disagree, like the opponent team, which is saying euthanasia should not be, believes that euthanasia should be banned. There are many reasons for saying euthanasia is nothing but a legal murder. I repeat, a legal murder. And when euthanasia to doctors to become into legal murderers. The next point I would like to put forward is family members' terminal illness is going to be a burden for them. And they don't want to take up the responsibility as it's a financial burden for the family of the doctor will decrease as the people will start thinking he cannot cure any disease. It is nowhere done in any of the holy books that one person has the right to take the life of another person. And euthanasia takes out the hope from the person who wants to live. And even people who want to lose their hopes and die. Many of the other countries have also banned euthanasia. Japan, Philippines, and Turkey. And my own country, India, has also banned euthanasia. Also, euthanasia comes from a directly translated means good death. And how is death good for any person? And by giving euthanasia, they mean that life is useless. And we all, including the opponent team and the audience, know the importance of life. With Gavel Club stands for the topic, euthanasia should be banned. I conclude my speech by saying this. Thank you.
I just want to ask everyone, especially the counselors, Gavel Kushal's video was not visible during the time of speech. Is it same for everyone or it is only here?
Yes, his video was not clear. It was intermittent. And then the voice was also breaking.
It was visible. I could see him.
Yeah. And what about
his
the
video
rebuttal
was
speaker? What about the rebuttal speaker of Team La Celesta? Did you hear the Anshika? Did you hear the speech completely?
No, sir, it was not very much audible. It kept breaking.
Kushal, are you in a position to check your bandwidth? I mean, your internet? It is still showing as network bandwidth is low. Question to Anshika. Anshika, are you in a position to rebut based on the speech you heard already?
No, sir.
You are not in a position to do that. Counselors, can we provide additional 2 minutes extra time to Kushal?
Yes, we can.
I want opinion from 3 counselors in a video. In the video format.
Sir, this is my connection. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My question was, can we provide additional 2 more minutes time due to the technical difficulty of the first speaker?
So he'll have to speak for 3 minutes. So
yeah.
If we have to give him 3 minutes, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. If he's not audible in the first minute, I think he should be disqualified. Maybe in the first minute that he's speaking, he should be audible and visible. If not, he should not be allowed to carry on.
Sir, can you hear me now properly?
We cannot see you, Kushal.
Your video is not clear. Your video is not at all available.
You have to be visible and audible.
Are you able to switch on your video?
No.
So then the backup speaker has to take up. Maybe the backup speaker can take up
from another account. Can you add me from that? Sir, am I on scene now?
Yeah. Now you're audible.
Yes, so can I do it again?
Counselors, I want your take on this. Do we need to go with the backup speaker or the original speaker?
DTM Vinod, my view would be, given that this is the first time Gaveliers are experiencing this, let's give them an opportunity. Let's give him the opportunity because this is a technical challenge.
True.
And I think let's not unnecessarily disadvantage them.
Correct. I want the opinion from one more counselor.
Yes, sir. I'm going with the same opinion, sir. We will give a chance. Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are starting the debate again, completely as new. Okay.
Thanks a lot, please.
Okay. The topic is euthanasia should be banned. The team for the topic is Group D, GYGC, and the team against the topic is Las Celeste Champions. So euthanasia should be banned. For talking for the topic, I'm inviting the opening speaker, Gavelier Kushal.
Yes. So, good evening, fellow Gaveliers.
Kushal, we can't hear you. I think you froze again.
Kushal, we could not see you as well as we could not hear you.
Can we continue with the speaker, the backup speaker, Risha?
I agree. Let's move to backup speaker in the interest of time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Risha, are you available?
Yes, sir.
You have the script?
Yeah, I do. Could I just have 2 minutes to read through it?
Okay, no worries. Guys, sorry, this is totally unexpected. Nobody have control on this.
Sir, I'll continue.
Kushal, you
can you hear
give
me?
Script to Risha.
Okay, sir. I'll give to Risha. Script to Risha, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I'll send it in.
To WhatsApp or whatever mechanism you might have discussed before. Not a problem, Kushal. It is a pure technical thing. Sometimes if you're starting again, the same problem will repeat. So
yes, sir.
We are already see the time is 7 o'clock, so we don't want to take a chance again. I hope
Yes,
you
sir.
understand.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Sir, I just like to say that I don't have the script.
Yeah, you will get the script from Kushal.
Okay, could he send it fast?
Yeah, I'll send it in the Group D debate team.
Okay.
Yeah, I sent it. Oh, just a minute. The network. Did you receive it?
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Risha, did you receive that? In your WhatsApp, in Group D.
Sir, I did receive it.
Yes.
Okay.
You can open it now. Relax. No need of having any tension. It is natural to have this kind of situation, and just treat it as an opportunity. Risha,
Yeah, sir. I'm ready.
you are ready? Okay.
Yeah, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Okay. Good evening, fellow Gaveliers, Toastmasters, and worthy opponents. Firstly, let me start by defining the motion of today's topic. Euthanasia or mercy killing is the deliberate advancement of a person's death for the benefit of that person. In most cases, euthanasia is carried out because the person asks to die. But most of the cases where the patient can't make such a request, it is the relatives of the patient who is taking the decision on behalf of the patient, in consultation with their family doctor. A person who undergoes euthanasia is usually terminally ill. Euthanasia can be carried out by either doing something, such as administering a lethal injection, or by not doing something necessary to keep the person alive. In our opinion, it is not moral to kill a person, even if they are terminally ill, because these people need a chance to live along and see his life. But there are people that disagree, like our opponent team, which is saying euthanasia should not be banned, whereas our team, Group D Global Gavels Club, firmly believes that euthanasia should be. There are many reasons for saying euthanasia has to be banned. Firstly, euthanasia is basically nothing but a legal murder. And when euthanasia is done, we are giving indirect powers to the doctors to become legal murderers. The next point I would like to put on is family members and doctors think that this person with the terminal illness is going to be a burden for them, and they don't want to take up that responsibility, as it is a financial burden for the family members and the fame of the doctors. This will decrease as people start thinking he can't cure diseases. It is nowhere written in any of the holy books that one person has the right to take the life of another person. The main thing required for a person to live is hope. And euthanasia takes out the hope from the person who wants to live. And even the people who want to live lose their hopes and die. Many of the developed countries have also banned euthanasia, such as China, Japan, Philippines, and Turkey. And even my own country, India, has banned euthanasia. And also, euthanasia comes from the Greek word, which is, when translated, it means good death. And how is death good for any person? And by giving euthanasia, they mean that the person's life is useless. And we all, including the opponent team, knows the importance of life. With this, our team, Group D, Global Gavel Club, stands for the topic euthanasia should be banned. Thank you.
Guys, 10 seconds for the next team member of the against team to prepare. Yes. Now, to talk against the topic, we have the opening speaker from La Celesta Champions. Before I am calling the speaker, I just requested the speaker to pin the timer. And can you check your audio and video by telling your name?
I'm Madhumita. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. So the opening speaker from team La Celesta Champions, Gavelier Madhumita.
Dear worthy opponent, you are talking about banning euthanasia today. But just 2 days ago, New Zealand, one of the most flourishing countries in the world, had approved. The tragedy of life is not death, but what let die inside of us while we live, by Norman Cousins. On behalf of our team, I take this opportunity to strongly present our views for euthanasia should not be banned. Aruna Shenbog was sexually assaulted and remained in a vegetative and painful state for 42 years following the assault. But the staff of the hospital wished to let her live, even with the pain and no chances of recovery. After severe suffering of 42 years, she had died due to pneumonia. We can give hundreds of examples like Tony Nicholson, Noel Conway, who wanted to get euthanized but weren't allowed to do so and died a painful death. Euthanasia is not for taking the lives of people, but for giving freedom from the suffering and pain. Even Mahatma Gandhi once advocated for euthanasia when he saw a suffering cow. Do you know 82% of people all over the world support euthanasia, and many developed countries like Netherlands, Belgium, Canada already allow euthanasia. Our opponent may say, in England, euthanasia is illegal. Yes, true. But due to this, suicide rate is higher in the England, and over 20% of suicides in England involve terminally and chronically ill patients. Why are you against euthanasia, worthy opponent? As per the Week magazine, in the year 2019, around 220 people traveled from England to Switzerland to get euthanized. Euthanasia allows a person to die with dignity. Euthanasia does more good than harm to others. And if there is no chance of recovery, the euthanized patient's organs can be donated to patients who want them and can get cured from treatment. Family and friends should be spared the pain of seeing their loved ones suffer a long, drawn-out death. When the society permits animals to be put down as an act of kindness, why not humans? My dear friends, please understand that euthanasia is a last option when all the other options are closed and there is no chance of recovery. Is dying a peaceful and painless death with dignity and with close family members with the patient too much to ask for after almost suffering all their lives in an indescribable manner? With these points, we as a team strongly believe that euthanasia should not be banned. Thank you.
Take 10 seconds time for the next speaker to prepare. The next speaker, Gavel and Shiga. Gavel and Shiga, can you set up your mic and check the video?
Sir, are you able to hear me?
You are not visible, but
Sir, I am Gavel Anshika.
yeah, okay. You are now visible and you are audible as well. So now, pardon? No, I will announce your name. Don't worry. So now, from the against team, we have the rebuttal speaker, Gavel and Shiga. Gavel and Shiga, the stage is yours.
Good evening, everybody. This is Gavel Anshika, here to rebuttal against the topic that euthanasia should be banned. Tears, deafening cries, intolerable pain, but over and over again. Welcome to the life of those in the vegetative or chronic state. The honorable opposition fairly fails to recognize or in fact feel the pain of others. In short, show sympathy over empathy. Show sympathy over empathy. Dear opposition, I want to believe your words, but then the reality check, the facts and figures hit, which entirely contradict your statement. Statement number 1, euthanasia is murder. Murder is giving pain to others, but euthanasia is ending the pain of others in a painless way. Dear opposition, please get your definitions clear. Statement 2, most cases are decided by relatives. You know something else which is decided by relatives or the parent and is yet legalized? Abortion. If abortion can be legalized, why not euthanasia? Third, doctors are given power. After years of practice, when a doctor takes the Hippocratic oath, he knows that it is his duty to serve his patients until the end, and no doctor should involve himself in malpractices. Fourth, it was mentioned that there is hope, but how much hope, I must ask? 55% people die in vain and die in an excruciating death. Sixth, it would mention that it undermines medical research. I don't understand how it does. It in fact boosts the medical research. Taking an example of New Zealand, which just legalized euthanasia day before yesterday. It is one of the leading developed countries and has one of the most developed medical research. So if New Zealand can, why can't we? He also stated that no holy book can kill one. I repeat, no holy book can kill one. But why? The desire to die is driven by logic and not spirituality. The desire to die is driven by logic and not spirituality. If you bring the topic of God, I can say that we are the children of God. Then why must one die such an excruciating pain? So, we, the members of the La Celeste Cavaliers Club, strongly believe that euthanasia should not be banned. Thank you.
Now, 10 seconds time for the next speaker to prepare. Gavel Ashwantini. Ashwantini, could you please check your mic and video whether it is perfect?
So am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. So the next speaker from the 4 team to rebut the opening speaker from team A of La Celestia, it is Gavel Yeshwantini. Gavel Yeshwantini, the stage is yours.
Suffering is a part of human condition and part of everyone's life. Furthermore, even if a person is in state of depression, stress, etc., it can still be cured in many ways. Everything in this world happens for a reason that could be beneficial for that person, but he or she may not have realized it. As our opponent said, if a person really wants to die, he or she died, what would be the condition of he or she's family, friends, etc.? Is the problem too big that it can't even be shared to them? And can't they solve the problem? Is that the only way? You may say that if a person is suffering severely from illness, would that be a good thing for him or her? But it is not our work to kill the person, even though with the permission of doctor. As our opponent told that Mahatma Gandhi saw a life suffering, so he allowed euthanasia. But death is something that should happen naturally, not like if something bad happens, I'm going to die. It's not like that it is the God who created us and brought us to the world. So it is again the God's responsibility to take us away from the world. As our opponent said, abortion is legalized. But abortion is done to people who has become pregnant by a wrong manner and if something bad happened to the child in the mother's stomach. I will say that life is something complicated. It is not something that we could ever realize and understand 100%. Each and every person lives for a reason. And if someone wants to die, we don't have the choice or the right to choose whether to kill that person, even if he or she is suffering. Everyone in this world would absolutely like to avoid suffering and have a relaxed life. But sometimes things don't always turn out exactly like what we want. We can't say that there is a life with no suffering. Each and every person has suffered in their life, but it is how you deal with them that matters, and not to run away because you're afraid to face them or afraid that you would suffer. Death is not only the solution to come out of problems. There are many ways to come out, and if death is only the solution, the population of the world would have been halved. Thank you.
Ten seconds for the next speaker to prepare. Now the next speaker, Gavel Rishwant, request you to get ready.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you pronounce your name so that we can check whether your audio is correct?
Rishwant.
Rishwant. Okay. So the next speaker from the team against Lancelot champions, the closing speaker is Gavel Rishwant. Gavel Rishwant, the stage is yours.
Good evening, everyone. My team has built themselves a strong factual base with statistics and logic stating that euthanasia should not be banned. Over the course of the debate, my teammates have demonstrated that banning euthanasia would result in total chaos. I would like to reiterate some of the points given by my opening speaker. Euthanasia is necessary. It allows the people to make a decision whether they want to stay alive under excruciating, agonizing pain, or they can end their life painlessly to escape the living hell that has been created due to their predicament. 46% of the physicians in US strongly agree with using euthanasia, and 14% agree with euthanasia. Like my opening speaker rightly said, if we were to ban euthanasia, one must consider the abominable consequences. In severe cases, if one suffers from a chronic degenerative disease which does not have a cure and is experiencing intense pain, what will you tell them if they were begging for death? As my rebuttal speaker rightly said, the reality checks and the facts and figures completely contradict the opposing speaker's points. For example, they said that euthanasia can only be used for a patient if they have been, they said, and I quote, getting pregnant in a bad way, and it's only used for terminally ill patients. But that's not right. It can be used for whoever is suffering from a really rare disease. And again, at the end of the day, using euthanasia lies with the decision of the patient or their family. In many places, it's legal to abort a child if they will have deformities when they come out. So why can't the same be applicable to euthanasia? Seeing your loved ones suffering right in front of you is an experience no one should go through and is even worse than abortion. Giving dying people the opportunity to live happily is an experience no one should go through. And is even worse than abortion.
10 seconds for the next speaker to get ready. Gavel Netra, could you please check your mic?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What about your video? Yeah. Did you pin the timer?
Yes, 1 second. Sir, could you mention the name of the timer again?
Timer?
I'm sir.
Shrihita. So my audio doesn't work. So, okay, wait a minute.
No, it's okay.
I'm Shrihita. Shrihita.
Yeah, it is okay. Done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the closing speaker from Team 4, which is Group D Global Youth Gavel Club, Gavelier Netra. Gavelier Netra, the stage is yours.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, Gaveliers, Toastmasters, and worthy opponents. Euthanasia or mercy killing is the deliberate advancement of a person's death for the benefit of that person. In some cases, euthanasia is carried out because the person asks to die. But in most cases where the patient cannot make such a request, it is the relatives of the patient who take an action on behalf of the patient in consultation with their family doctor. In our opinion, it is very much not moral to kill a person, even if they're terminally ill, because these people need a chance to live and see their life proceed on its own path. We firmly believe euthanasia should be banned. When euthanasia is done, we are giving indirect power to the doctors to become legal murderers. Euthanasia is nothing but a legal murder. The family members and relatives do have a thought that the patient with the terminal illness is going to be a burden for them, and they don't want to take up the responsibility as it is a financial burden. As my opening speaker rightly said, the main thing required for a person to live is hope, and euthanasia drains it completely away from the person who aspires to live happily. Euthanasia comes from a Greek word, when translated, means good death. We don't find a single possibility, not a single likelihood, where death can be good for a person, even if terminally ill. Every single person or animal value their lives to the highest, and we know the importance of life. Every human suffers during life, but we have to learn to live through. It is not the doctors who gave us existence. As our rebuttal speaker had perfectly mentioned, life is something complicated, and we have right to fight through our problems. Everything in life happens for a reason, and a reason that may be beneficial. Therefore, we, Group D debate team, state strongly with our firm beliefs that we stand for the motion euthanasia should be banned. Thank you.
Friends, that is the end of the debate 1, the first round. So I'll be providing 10 seconds time for you to settle down. After that, we will be commencing the poll. Since as per our initial schedule, this debate is supposed to be the third round of debate. In the poll, it is written as debate 3, but you need not take it as 3. It is the debate 1. You just need to vote for the best team. I'm launching the poll right now. $45 seconds. One minute. We have 30 seconds more to go. Only 3 persons are yet to vote. The last 10 seconds. The poll is hereby finished. Yes. Now, I am thankful to the organizers for providing me the opportunity to be the moderator for the first round. And I hope all of you enjoyed this, the initial round of the debate, though we had a small technical glitches in the beginning, but the participants were really performed well. So I'm handing over the stage, the screen, back to our Master of Ceremony, Malavika Manoj. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Definitely, it was a wonderful debate, though we had some technical glitches, but that's totally all right. It's not something that we can predict, right? So without wasting much time, I am moving on, and it's time to call our second moderator. Now, to talk about our second moderator, he likes to play basketball and also loves to draw, but when it comes to hobbies, he likes cycling. It is time to welcome our second moderator. Please help me welcome Yadav Hariharan.
Thank you, Gavel of the day, Malavika Manoj. Good evening, everyone. I am Yadav Hariharan, and I'm from ISM Wordsworth. I'm the moderator too for today's debate, second one. And the topic for today's second debate is school uniforms should be abolished. And the debate is between two teams, Team F and Team A. Team F is Arabian Dreams Gals Club, and team A is ISM Shakespeare. Now, without further ado, may I ask Gavelier DTM Vinod Metakmal to give the voting.
Before that, we need to reconfirm the team members. So I'll be sharing the screen so that you can reconfirm the team members for both the team.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Can you reconfirm the team members?
From Arabian Dreams Gals Club, opening speaker Gavelier Sanjana.
Yes.
Rebuttal Speaker Gavelier Ashita.
Yes.
Closing speaker Gavelier Kalsa.
Yes, I'm here.
From team A, ISM Shakespeare, opening speaker Gavelier Aryan.
Yeah.
Rebuttal speaker Gavelier Joshua.
Yes, I'm present.
Closing speaker Gavelier Shashmi.
Yes.
Sir, now you can give the voting.
You can read out the backup speaker as well, so that in case any technical issues
Okay,
are
sir.
there.
The backup speaker for team F, Arabian Dreams Gals Club, is Gavelier Arman, and for team A is Maitri Saxena.
Yes, I'm there.
Thank you very much.
Arman here. After the M, it's a double A.
Okay, noted.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So as per your request, moderator, I'll be initiating the poll for knowing in which side is our participants in terms of the topic. Give me a minute.
So moderator?
Yeah, I'm just doing the poll. Just give me a minute.
Yes.
Sir, can you repeat the topic?
The topic is school uniforms should be abolished. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'm launching the poll for the audience to determine in which side you are with respect to the topic.
Sir, I just wanted to know who the timer would be.
Yeah, same.
Let us complete the poll. After that, we can check.
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
One minute. Last 10 seconds. Yeah. Now we need to identify the timer for the second round. Timer, can you identify yourself?
So I'll be the timer.
Your good name?
Aditi.
Aditi K. I request all the team members to pin Aditi before you are starting your speech. Aditi K, timer number 2 from ISG Gavel Club. Now, Gavalier Yadav,
Yes,
you
sir.
can proceed.
Now, without any further ado, let's introduce the opening speaker from the affirmative team, Gavel Sanjana.
Before she is speaking, check the mic and video. I'm reminding you so that we should not be having any technical glitches.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Sanjana here.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Timer, hope you're ready. The world is a colorful box of crayons, said John Mayer. With due respect, sir, have you seen our schools? Good evening, dear adjudicator, toastmasters, gamblers, my worthy yet thoroughly misguided opponents. We as Team Proposition firmly stand for the motion that states school uniforms should be abolished. As defined by the Cambridge University, school uniform is a particular set of clothes that has to be worn by all members of the school community, and abolished meaning put a legal end to. The words complement each other so beautifully. School uniforms curbs the basic rights of freedom, expression, and liberty. This right has been guaranteed to all citizens under Article 19 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which says everyone has the right of freedom to opinion and expression. And freedom of opinion includes what we wear. And by imposing uniforms on children, school curbs a basic right that we have been entitled to and deceive the students by pretending that it's beneficial to them. Wondering why? Let me tell you. School uniforms create a facade of homogeneity. Out in the real world, your sense of dressing and self-presentation is as important as the skill that you have. And by not teaching us this since childhood, the schools that are supposed to teach you the way in life ensure that you feel lost in the real world. School uniforms are also very expensive. A study conducted by The Guardian in 2019 shows that parents in Europe spend 500 euros one term for school uniforms. And now for those of you who can't do the math, I'll tell you. That is 1,500 euro for a year, 7,000 euro for 5 years, and 14,000 euros for 10 years. That's the fee of a bachelor's degree in an Ivy League school. Under the right to education, government guarantees free education to all children, but they do not cover the uniform costs, and uniform companies exploit this loophole and ensure to overburden the students this way. School uniforms are also extremely uncomfortable. They are made out of materials like polyester and acrylic that are no climate suitable. They are a constant source of irritation for students. Not only are they uncomfortable, but are also very harmful to the body as they do not allow it to breathe. And these are the clothes that we have to wear every day for 8 hours. In general, school uniforms are popularly disliked by all. And I can guarantee that everyone here in the audience feels the same. In fact, a study conducted by Educational Research shows that dislike of school uniforms increased by 81% in 2017. There you go. Entire population hates it. What a better reason to abolish it? I request the adjudicator to already declare us the winners of this debate. Thank you.
You know, I think that Sanjana has got a good point. But now I need to move on. So I would like to call on the opening speaker of the negative team, Gavel Aryan.
Could you please provide 10 seconds time in between?
Yes, sir. Aryan, you have 10 seconds to get ready.
I can start?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, Toastmaster and my fellow Gaveliers. Today, I will be talking against the topic, school uniforms should be abolished. Our uniform is a part of our school identity. It unites the students and ensures that students take pride in wearing it. Wearing a uniform simplifies a lot of things. It creates a sense of school identity. It signifies unity. It gives students a sense of belonging. And most importantly, it ensures their safety, as students in uniforms are easy to locate. Uniforms provide equality among all the students, as true students are not judged on the basis of their clothes and are also not teased on their cloth brand. Uniform provides discipline in terms of clothing, and decency standards are easier to maintain. And discipline now leads to discipline in life. Without uniform, people would get influenced and judge others on outer beauty. Whereas, when everyone is wearing the same clothes, students get judged on their inner beauty, skills, and knowledge. It is true, because if students were allowed to wear casual clothes, it would not be long before we had many Katrina Kaifs and John Abrahams in every class. And school isn't a place for show-off. It is a place for academic excellence. Famous personalities like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett say that they keep uniform and minimum clothes so that they don't spend time in deciding what to wear, but they spend their time in more productive work. Right now, people might say, like the Western world is wearing no uniform and casual clothes. However, it does not mean that we should follow the wrong practice. Even during this pandemic, the Namaste style is ours, and the Westerners have adopted it because it is right. Same for uniforms. After all, it is said, uniformity in life leads to the success of the individual. And yes, thank you, one and all. And I believe that for the winners, we are back in competition. Thank you.
Now let's move on to the rebuttal speaker of the negative team, Gavelier Joshua. Gavelier Joshua, you have 10 seconds to ready up.
Hi, am I visible and am I audible?
Yes, Joshua, you are visible and you are audible.
Okay, thank you. A very good evening, respected Toastmaster, my fellow worthy opponent, and all my audience. I'm Joshua from ISM Shakespeare, and I'll be rebuting against the notion of why school uniforms should be banned. Our opponent has mentioned that the world is a colorful box of crayons. Well, how do you like to maintain unity within this colorful box of crayons? You stated that it curbs freedom of expression, liberty, and opinion. So does that freedom of expression mean that you can wear whatever you want and anything you want? Doesn't mean that you can cut, doesn't mean that it can be at the cost of cutting equality between everyone? When you wear whatever you like, it increases the gap of superiority between the financially stable and the not so financially stable. And when you wear uniforms, we all are equal in the sight of everyone. And when we wear uniforms, we are all always uniform in life. And to maintain uniform in life is the best way to start in school itself. You said that we are lost in the real world when we wear uniforms. Well, what if we don't wear uniforms? When you don't wear uniforms, we'll be judged by our outer beauty and not what is from here. And we'll be judged by what is from here. What do we come to school for? What is the reason of coming to school? We come to school to gain academic excellence and not for show off, as our opening speaker rightly said. And also you said they're expensive. What? How is that possible? And the facts that you're coming up is absolutely contradicting to what is actually happening. And I would like to ask you, how are you wearing uniforms in the first place? How are every one of us wearing uniforms if it was expensive? And also, uniforms are always created with the most lowest, cheapest, affordable rate and at the same time, good quality clothing and materials. You also said it's harmful to the body and disliked by all. Well, you have to be right in your context. It depends on which material it's made up of. And most of the time, it happens to be cotton, which is really heat resistant. And also, there may be diversity when all of you are wearing different clothes in class. But how can you maintain unity and diversity when everyone is wearing whatever they want? How can a classroom sustain when we all wear uniforms, despite whatever traditional background or religious culture we come from? We all are equal. And also, we all are together. It forms a sense of togetherness within us. And so, ending, I'd like to say that our opponent has utterly failed in trying to convince that school uniforms should be banned and school uniforms should exist. That's what I say. Thank you so much.
Okay, now let's move on to the rebuttal speaker of the affirmative team, Gavelier Ashita Manohar. Gavelier Ashita Manohar, you have 10 seconds to ready. Can you please check whether your mic and audio is working?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ashita. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you.
Could you also please pin the timer?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Shall I start?
Yes, you can start.
Thank you. Yesterday, I participated in a Halloween costume contest and I won. Do you know why? And what my costume was? My school uniform. Good evening, respected Toastmasters, fellow Gaveliers, and guests. My team and I adamantly believe that school uniforms should definitely be abolished. It is high time we acknowledge the obsolete, obstinate, and outdated points raised by the opposition team, just like school uniforms. Let's get right to it. Discipline. Discipline is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as a practice of training people to obey rules and orders and punishing them if they do not. Schools which have abolished school uniforms have strictly established dress codes for students to follow, simultaneously allowing them to wear a clothing of their choice. This represents that school uniforms are definitely not mandatory instruments for maintaining discipline in students. And also, the point about bullying, judgment, and body shaming in schools if they are not wearing school uniforms. Let me present to you the latest data which shows by the Research Institute of Medical and Health Scientists, which conducted study over the years of 2015 to 18 and concluded that 89% of the bullying, outer beauty judgment, and body shaming takes place in schools with uniforms. And also, Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg are not students, but rather just successful personalities. But might I also add, they also defied the school rules. Unity in students. As far as unity and togetherness is concerned, I would like to quote Mary Parker Follett, an American socialist, who quoted, "Unity, not uniformity, must be our aim. We attain unity only through variety. Differences must be integrated, not annihilated, not absorbed. Hence, allowing diversity in clothing and self-expression is the strongest form of unity there is in schools." Namaste is only a formal greeting and has no relation with school uniforms, hence negating that point completely. Even though students may take time to dress in the morning, it is done under a time constraint, hence developing the skills of time management and complying with dress codes. It does not cause stress, but instills a sense of responsibility in a very young age. To conclude, if freedom of expression and opinion, unity, comfort, and individuality are your beliefs, then you will absolutely agree with my team's motion that school uniforms should be abolished. Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on to the closing speaker of the negative team, Gavel Shashmeen.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and you are visible. You have 10 seconds to ready up and please pin the timer.
Good evening, respected teachers, Toastmasters, and dear fellow Gaveliers. As our opening speaker and rebuttal speaker spoke, I strongly emphasize their points. Of course, school uniform is our pride. School uniform is our identity. A school uniform shows that everyone are equal. It reduces the social status comparisons and break down the barrier between the students. School uniforms are equalizers. School is a place where we learn, but many children feel that it's more important to look good, while the main purpose of going to school is to focus on studies. School uniform prevents distractions and brings discipline among children. Schools can easily identify their own students. It can increase the safety measures for the children. School uniforms cost very less when compared to buying a wardrobe full of fancy clothes and accessories. There's no pressure on us to think what clothes to wear. To conclude, uniform is a necessary part of a school environment. It builds up a community and spirit among the children. School uniform shows that everyone are equal and creates an environment full of dignity and respect. It exemplifies the students' respect for themselves, their classmates, and for learning. When everyone are wearing the same dress, it's much easier for children to concentrate on essential things, such that academics only. Finally, poor children get free uniform, which encourages them to go to school every day and gives them the hope for tomorrow. So school uniforms should not be abolished. Thank you.
Okay, now let's move on to the closing speaker of the affirmative team, Gavel Shah. Gavel Shah, you have 10 seconds to ready up and please check if your mic and camera are working. And please pin the timer.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Yes, can everyone hear me and see me? Can everyone?
Yes, yes.
Hey, is that a clown walking on the road? Oh, that's just a kid in a school uniform. Good evening, everyone. I am Kalpsha and will summarize our win. Our first speaker started off with the fact of how the uniforms endanger the freedom of expression defined by the UN. It also sinisterly decreases the development of children as they are not being taught to make decisions on dressing styles, as dressing is a very important aspect of life. School uniforms are a tool used to make money and not any other good reason, as they are only available or encouraged to buy from specific shops that have high prices. The amount spent in 5 to 10 years on uniform is extremely expensive as well. Survey conducted by students proves that they hate wearing uniform. And lastly, she also stated how uniforms are extremely uncomfortable to wear and distract students from actual education. Our second speaker completely rebutted the first speaker by stating Research Institute of Medical Health and Sciences conducted studies over the years of 2015 to 2018. As the result was 89% of bullying, outer beauty, judgment, and body shaming takes place in schools with uniforms and not the ones without. Discipline is also defined by the Oxford Dictionary as the practice of training for people to obey rules and punishing them when they don't. And schools which have abolished school uniforms have strictly established dress codes for students to follow simultaneously, allowing them to wear the clothing of their choice while being appropriate enough. Well, at the end, I must say, I am pretty sure after today's debate, school uniforms will ensure that students don't fit into any crowd due to embarrassment. Thank you.
With that, we finish our debate 2 of school uniform should be abolished. Now I give over the topic to the Gavel of the day, Gavel Malavika Manoj.
Before that,
the voting.
yeah, that's what I am into. So can we commence the voting?
Yes, sir.
So here you go. I'm launching the polling. One minute is over.
Vinod sir, I'm the timer for the third debate. Can you just check if my timing signs are okay?
After the poll is over, give me a few seconds. The last 10 seconds. Yeah. End of poll. Now, Abhijay, you can check the timing. Gavel Abhijay.
Yes sir, the green, and now I'll show the red.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Now back to our master of ceremony, Malavika Manoj.
Yes, thank you. Wow, that was another amazing debate done by our third team. And now before moving on, I am requesting you all to please enable your camera to take a group picture. So please switch your cameras on.
Everybody, enable your camera, as mentioned by Gavalier Malavika. Who is taking the picture? Any of the Gavaliers? I mean, any of the counselor? Or else I will be initiating. In the first screen itself, there are many Gavaliers yet to enable their camera. For example, Matumita, Anson, Mamata, Shah, Shini, then Anshika. We can take the picture only when you are enabled your camera. Please. Everyone. Okay, the first screen. Picture 1. Then the second screen. In the second screen only, yeah, everyone is there. And the third screen, there are many people not enable the camera in the third screen. For example, Aman, Sweta, Shruti, Bhumika, Purvi, Evangeline, Bina. Please, let us save the time. Shaivi Srivastava. Could you please enable? Yeah. Sherwin, I know you're very beautiful and handsome. All of you. The last 10 seconds. The last 10 seconds for you to enable the camera. The third screen. I will read out the name again if you want. Angelika, Shruti, Purvi, Ankit, and Bina. The last line. Guys, you see the third screen, the last line. All the participants are not enabled the camera. This is the last chance. I'm taking the picture. Smile, please. Yes. Cavalier Malavika, you can continue.
Yes, sir. Right now, we saw the amazing debate by the two teams. It was round 2, and now let's move on to the next. So it is time to call upon our third moderator. To talk about her, she is an eminent speaker of ISM Shakespeare. She is a national chess player, a sports and movie lover. She also likes to travel in a bike. So please help me welcome our third moderator, Shashini.
Thank you so much, Malvika Mohan. It was a beautiful round of 2 debates, and now we are here with the third. Roses are red, violets are blue, and there's always someone who goes against you. With that, we will start with our day. Today, our topic for the debate third round is globalization. I mean, just a second. Sir, can you please?
Yeah, I will share the screen.
With that, I would like to introduce you to our next topic.
Yeah.
Our next topic is all people should become vegetarian. All people should become vegetarian would be our next debate topic. Now we will have our poll. So,
yeah, before the poll, can we reconfirm all the team members are available now?
Yes, sir, sure. From Team F, opening speaker, Gavelier Sridev Santosh.
Yes, I am present.
Okay. Rebuttal speaker, Gavelier Malavika Rajesh.
Present.
Okay. Closing speaker, Gavelier Krishnendu Rajesh.
Present.
Yes, okay. From Team A, we have opening speaker, Gavelier Mohammad Zishan.
Present.
Okay. Rebuttal speaker, Gavelier Kshama Sushil Kumar.
Present.
Closing speaker, Gavelier Sujanya Shriram.
Present.
And backup speakers, Gavlia Abhijay Sajeev.
Yes, sir.
And Gavlia Rachel.
Present.
Yes, sir, we have everyone. We can go with the poll.
Yeah. Give me a minute. I'm launching the poll.
Sir, could you please just share the screen once again?
Now the poll is going on. After that, I will share.
Yes, sir.
The topic is all people should become vegetarian. I hope all of you can see that. Right?
Yes, sir.
I'm now getting the poll, sir.
Pardon?
Sir, I'm not able to see the poll.
What about others?
We can see the poll. Yes, we can.
Yeah. It might be a technical issue, Mr. Kushal. I mean, Gavel Kushal. The first 1 minute is over. The last 10 seconds. The poll is over. Give me a minute. Yeah. Now, you were asking to share the screen again, right?
Yes, sir.
If you want, I can read out.
Yes, sir.
From the Tejas Gavel Club, 4 team, opening Sridev Santosh, Rebuttal Malaviga Rajesh, closing Krishnendu Rajesh, and team against ISG Gavel Amethyst, opening speaker Gavalier Mohammed Session, rebuttal speaker Gavalier Shama Sushil Kumar, and closing speaker Gavalier Sujanya Sriram.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You got all the speakers?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Okay. Okay, we would like to start our debate round 3 with the opening speaker, Gavalier Sridev. Gavalier Sridev, our opening speaker.
Today, right now, I want you to close your eyes and imagine. Imagine yourself in a locked cage, crammed and crowded with 1,000 others, unable to bear the stench. Your breath's coming in short and fast as you see men walk closer towards you. You count down the minutes to when you die. Fear taking over your brain, limbs paralyzed, helpless, desperate, dying. This is the story of the chickens that are being supplied to the world-famous fast food brand KFC. A reputed British newspaper called The Independent uncovered harrowing tales of slaughterhouses of KFC suppliers. So no, the animals that you believe are killed humanely aren't really. They undergo tremendous amount of pain to end up on your plate. What does that make you? Hurtless? Cruel? A mixture of both? So, it may come as to no surprise that we, Team TGC, stand strongly for the motion that everyone should be vegetarians. But the fact that it's a humanitarian thing to do isn't just the only evidence we have. We have tons more. According to an organization called Down to Earth, in the US, non-veg diet-related chronic diseases cause a staggering $1 trillion each year. Also, an Oxford study published in the British Medical Journal found that vegetarians outlive meat eaters by 6 years. They also tend to have lower blood pressure, hypertension, and overall risk of cancer. Being a vegetarian helps end world hunger. Every 3.5 seconds, a person dies from starvation. Where is all the food going? Nearly 70% of the global grains produced are used to feed livestock. And if we all become vegetarian, we need not feed as much livestock as before, and 70% more food would be added to the world supply, which would be enough to feed not only the people who are starving, but more than half the people on the earth. And if that wasn't enough, meat and its processing causes huge emissions of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. According to a report by United Nations, raising animals for food generates more greenhouse gases than all the cars and trucks in this world combined. So going vegetarian surely helps reduce global warming, and it is much easier than trying to reduce carbon dioxide emission. Being a vegetarian saves water. According to PETA Germany, water required to produce just a pound of meat requires more than 2,400 gallons, which is just a waste of resources, as a pound of wheat only requires 25 gallons of water. So let's quickly go over all that again. If you become a vegetarian, you turn much healthier, you're helping starving children, you're helping a deteriorating environment, you're sticking to the basic human values that you're born with, that is not to hurt your fellow creatures, and you're changing the world with just a few changes to your diet. To me, going vegetarian sounds like the most amazing decision you can ever take. Hope you all are convinced. Thank you.
That was a splendid beginning. With such a powerful beginning, let's hear it for our opening speaker, Gavel Zishan. Gavel Zishan?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and we can see you. You may begin.
There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. Why are people drawn to the idea of vegetarianism? Some just want to live longer with healthier lives. Others want to preserve Earth's natural resources. Or the love of animals stop them from eating. But is this all true, or just another huge misunderstanding? Good evening, one and all. We, the opposition, negate the motion that all people should be vegetarian. When our vegetarian ancestors started eating meat, it wasn't just because animals taste great. It was pure necessity. Climate change made many of the plants our ancestors relied on less available, and meat bridged that gap. From the discovery of fire, meat became the staple human diet. Why would we eliminate what has benefited us for over 2 million years? Hence, here are 3 reasons why the whole world should not become vegetarian. Firstly, imbalance in nature's biodiversity. Cattle give out greenhouse gases. A single gram of soil contains billions of bacteria, and most of them are nitrogen and methane lovers. Research done recently by Sydney University has shown that just 1 hectare of pasture has enough potential for these bacteria to extract greenhouse gases from the environment. Imagine how fast the population of cattle would have increased without its main predator, us, in the last few centuries. Furthermore, an animal eating another to survive is not cruel. It's just how nature works. Secondly, it's a myth that vegetarian diet is more beneficial. According to recent studies, vegetarians suffer significantly more often from anxiety disorder and depression, including reports of harm to brain health and hair loss. Some nutrients are barely found in plants, such as B12 vitamin and omega-3 fatty acids, and hence are taken as supplements. In one serving, meat provides all the essential amino acids, nutrients such as iron and zinc. Meat also contains selenium, which protects the human body from heart diseases. Thus, the belief that vegetarianism is of high nutritional value stands negated. Lastly, effect on culture and traditions. Many cultural and religious traditions include meat as a focal point, which would no longer exist or will have a vegetarian alternative. Meat serves as an essential part of festivities across communities, where slaughtering of a goat completes the celebration. In the US, a long-standing tradition is having a turkey on the table for Thanksgiving dinner. But in a meat-free environment, what should be the feature food on our plates? What people eat should be a protected personal choice. It's not necessary to become vegetarian to lower our environmental footprint. Thus, we, the opposition, firmly stand against the motion.
Thank you, Gavelier Zishan. Well, now what I feel is the two strongest speakers have become the opening speakers. Let's see how the rebuttal speakers go ahead with them. Next, we have our rebuttal speaker, Kshama. The stage is yours.
Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you and you are visible too.
All right, 1 second. Can I begin?
Yes, you may.
A world full of vegetarians. This fairy tale that the proposition has spun, while being an amazing story, has many flaws to it. Good evening, everyone. I will be presenting the rebuttals for the opposition. My worthy opponent started by saying that animals are hurt in the process and turning vegetarian would be a more humanitarian approach. Well, if this is true, let's ask the tiger not to eat the deer, the eagle not to eat the snake, and the lion not to eat the zebra. Eat and be eaten. That is nature's law. A balanced ecosystem demands species to eat others because only then will food chains have stability. And if this is not convincing enough, aren't plants also living beings? So why don't we tell vegetarians to have compassion for plants? It's simply because this is how nature works and will continue to work. The opposition also stated that becoming vegetarian would help end world hunger and it will help reduce global warming. Firstly, about world hunger. PDS, or the Public Distribution System in India, which supplies wheat and rice, is supposedly created to end hunger in India. Did it work? It failed horribly, and in fact, it has led to food grains being wasted. Is this how the proposition plans to end world hunger? The 925 million people in chronic hunger worldwide are not hungry because people in wealthy countries eat too much meat. The problem is one of economics and distribution. Secondly, about global warming. It's sad to see that my worthy opponents have not distinguished between vegan and a vegetarian diet, which is the one being discussed today. Figures have shown emissions you can cut are based not just on a vegetarian diet, but on an entirely vegan one, where we avoid every single animal product altogether, which is not the motion for today. My worthy opponents further mentioned that it is a healthier option. If this was true, then why is it that athletes are suggested meat in their diets when they train? We definitely don't want them to be unhealthy, so why is meat added into their diets? It is simply because meat is not only healthy, but also gives more proteins, which increases their strength. Therefore, for all these reasons, the motion, all people should become vegetarian, must fall. Over to the moderator.
Thank you so much, Gavelier Shama. Well, I feel this debate is getting heated as each and every speaker finishes. Next, we have our Gavelier Krishnandu, rebuttal speaker. Gavelier Krishnandu?
Actually, it is Gavelier Malvika, the rebuttal speaker.
I'm extremely sorry. Gavelier Malavika Rajesh, our rebuttal speaker.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard a lot of talk about your food choices. What is right? What is wrong? My worthy opponents presented some compelling evidence that naturally presented non-vegetarianism as the right choice. Now, I wanted to believe it. Believe me, I did. But how do I believe information that doesn't have a factual leg to stand on or can easily be outed by more reputable sources of information?
My worthy opponent started by stating that animals taste great. Well, guess what? We probably taste great too. And yet, it is appalling to think of us killing another human for our dietary pleasure. Then, my worthy opponent said that the second point was that the world will be overrun by cattle if there is no one to eat them. There is a food chain in place for this very reason. A food chain that we interrupted, a food chain that was working perfectly fine without us. If we went back to being vegetarian, food chains would re-establish order and there would be no overflow of animals whatsoever. Then, one main point that was projected by the opposition team was that how is a tiger killing a deer not cruel? How is a lion killing a deer not cruel? Well, they are carnivores. Carnivores don't have a choice. But we do. Carnivores can't survive without eating meat. We can. They talked about the freedom of choice. Well, let me tell you how that actually works in our team's favor. We have a freedom of choice when it comes to our diet. We have a freedom of choice when it comes to cannibalism. We found it unbearable to kill and feed on our fellow humans, humans who talk like us, breathe like us. So just because animals can't talk, just because animals don't necessarily look like us, does that give us the right to kill them? We are humans. The freedom of choice is on our side, whereas carnivores can't choose whether to kill or not. They also talked about recent studies, and they listed out a whole list of health benefits that meat eaters have. Recent studies, very vague. No proper source mentioned. Is it probably because that source was not a very reputable source of information? We can only speculate. My worthy opponents have tried to whitewash the facts so much that they have become distorted. They're trying to protect a lifestyle that we as humans can easily change. A lifestyle that is not just harming you, it is harming the entire world. You might ask yourself why we are debating so much on food choices. Non-vegetarianism is killing lives, killing the environment. That's why. Make the right choice. Turn vegetarian. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cavalier Malvika. Next, we have our closing speaker, Cavalier Sujanya Sriram. Cavalier Sujanya Sriram, you may begin.
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes, you're visible and I can hear you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. We, the opposition, stand firmly against the motion that all people should become vegetarian. Our opening speaker started by stating that eating meat for our ancestors was a pure necessity and how, from the discovery of fire, meat has become a staple in the human diet. Furthermore, he pointed out how imbalanced vegetarian diets create in the nature's biodiversity, which is supported with a study made by Sydney University. Moreover, he shattered the myths surrounding vegetarian diets being more healthier by pointing out that meat also contains nutrients which protect the human body. Lastly, he stated that going vegetarian can jeopardize cultural and religious traditions of numerous people globally, where meat plays an important role in festivities, and this was clearly explained through various examples. All the points made by my opening speaker were substantiated with proper statistics. Moving into the points made by my rebuttal speaker, she started by mentioning nature's law and spoke about how a balanced ecosystem demands species to eat each other, because it is only then will food chains have stability. She then strongly emphasized the failure of the public distribution system in India and how it has in fact led to food grains being wasted. She further substantiated that emissions are cut based not on a vegetarian diet, but on a vegan one, where we avoid every single animal product altogether. Lastly, she disproved that vegetarian diets are healthy by stating that athletes are suggested meat in their diet when they train because this gives them more protein and also increases their strength. To conclude, The right to eat what we want, including meat, is a fundamental liberty that we must defend. Hence, we, the opposition, appeal to the House to defeat the motion that all people should become vegetarian.
Thank you so much, Gavel Sujanya. We have our final closing speaker for this heated debate, Gavalier Krishnandu.
Should all humans go vegetarian? Well, if you listen closely enough to a very compelling and fact-checked points, you would be all set to turn into one. But here's a recap. First off, our opening speaker delivered many strong points, including being a vegetarian is a much healthier choice as vegetarians have a lower rate of hypertension and less chance of the deadly cancer. Being a full vegetarian can actually help in reducing global hunger, reduce carbon footprint, saves up a ton of water, plus it's a humanitarian thing to do. Animals are killed and butchered inhumanly in the process of ending up in your plate. Secondly, my rebuttal speaker countered points of our opponent's team with relevant topics, including, unlike other animals that do not have a choice to choose between animals and plants in the wild, we do have a choice. So why not choose a healthier option? Moreover, we have laws against cannibalism as humans can speak and have emotions. So why are animal lives considered lower than ours? Another point stated by the rebuttal speaker was that if everyone turns vegetarian, the world will not overflow with animals, as we have a food chain to take care of that. Ladies and gentlemen, the way TGC sees it, you have two roads in front of you. One is the easy one. You'd go down it, you continue your consumption of meat. But going down that road means that you are ignoring what the facts and figures clearly say. You are ignoring the existence of environment and you're putting it to chance. But there is another road, one that requires a little compromise, but then will shower rewards on you in the long run. Go vegetarian for the animals who live counting down the days to when they're going to be murdered by us, when they will end up on your plates. For the environment, at least for yourself. Thank you and have a nice day.
Well, yes, this was one of the best debates I've heard personally. We had an exuberant set of speakers, eminent people, and now we would like to conclude. So we can go for the poll?
Yes, I'm ready for that. Here it is. I'm launching the poll. The first 1 minute is over. 30 seconds left. 10 more people to vote. Last 10 seconds. Poll hereby ending.
With this, I feel extremely proud to have been the moderator for such a beautiful, heated debate session. I would now like to give away the podium to our Master of Ceremony, Malavika Manoj. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was another miraculous performance by our third two teams. And now it is time for the final round, that is round number 4. Now, to talk about the moderator, number 4, she is a 17-year-old student. When it comes to hobbies, she has got a bunch of hobbies, but some of it being dancing and painting. So please help me welcome our fourth moderator, Dhriti Ved. Dhriti, the stage is all yours, the virtual platform.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good afternoon, honorable adjudicators, debaters, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dhriti Bhatt, and it is a privilege to be the moderator for the last debate session of the day. The competition today has been remarkable, with all speakers speaking exceptionally well, and I can assure you that this debate is going to be like no other. Without further ado, the topic of the most anticipated debate of the night is globalization has increased the rich, poor. I repeat, globalization has increased the rich, poor. Can we please have the poll up now?
Before that, I will share the screen for the benefits of everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So speaking in favor, we have the HSBC Gavels Club. Their opening speaker is Gavelia Angelica Fernandez. Rebuttal speaker is Gavelia Ayla Gupta. And their final closing speaker is Gavelia Sheena Fernando. The opposing team is, we have team ISM Vikram Seth. Their opening speaker is Gavelia Ananya Siju. The rebuttal speaker is Gavelia Vanshika Shah, and their closing speaker is Gavelia Vedika Chandra. I hope all of them are present here. Okay. The timer for this debate will be Anson Fernandez. I would request you all to please fill out the poll now when it's up.
Yeah. Did we reconfirm the members are available, the team members for both the team?
Can I please see a raise of hands if you're all available here?
Yes. So now I'll be starting the poll for the topic. Here it goes. The first 1 minute is over. The last 10 seconds. Poll is ending here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Moving on. The timer for this debate is Anson Fernandez, and I would request all the speakers to pin the timer on your screens. That being said, timer, can I see a raise of hand if you're ready? All right. Okay. With that, I would like to begin by calling upon, with a huge round of applause, the first speaker for the motion from the HSBC Gavels Club, Gavelia Angelica Fernandez.
I cannot think of a greater peril that the poor must face than the inequalities posed by wide-term globalization. Good evening, honorable adjudicator and a worthy yet highly mistaken opponents. We, the affirmative, stand here strongly supporting the motion that globalization has increased the rich-poor divide. Globalization is a process in which people and governments interact with others worldwide. Increased means to grow and intensify. And finally, the rich-poor divide is the unequal gap between the wealth distribution among the rich and poor. So the motion broken down is whether the worldwide integration of governments has intensified the gap between the wealthy and poor. In today's debate, my team and I will cover a plethora of reasons why we believe that globalization has widened this gap to great extents. One way it has done this is through the effects of increasing specialization and trade. Yes, this leads to a rise in poverty. For example, if a country can now import cheaper steel from elsewhere, then there will be a decrease in the domestic supply and a fall in the employment in that industry, leading to a decline in living standards. And what does this show? An increase in the rich-poor divide. Globalization enforces standard reduced salaries for workers in third world regions like Africa and Asia, whereas workers in developed regions enjoy promotions and high salaries in their workplaces. The gap between globally well-connected and unconnected people is likely to grow even faster than given the technology explosion. An American needs to save a single month's salary to buy a computer, whereas an African must save all his wages for 8 years to afford the same laptop. Globalization has increased the demand for higher salaries to high-skilled employees, lowering the expected earnings of low-skilled workers. This process of globalization focuses on power and marginalizes the poor. The claims that figures of globalization continuously reiterate has been proved false and is instead having the opposite impacts. If this is the case, the rules of globalization must be rewritten to save the 60 countries that are worse off than they were in 1980 before globalizing. A staggering 90% of this world's wealth still belongs to the US and the UK, whereas only 10% of this wealth is attributed to third world countries such as Asia and Africa, as reported by the UNDP. In short, globalization threatens the rich-poor divide. By its unequal distribution of income, increased trade can further intensify these impacts, and it severely marginalizes the poor of this world. Further elaboration by my team is bound to convince you of the detrimental impacts that the so-called highly beneficial globalization proposes upon our world to show you how imbalanced it really is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Angelica, for your speech. We will now have the first speaker who is against the motion from Team ISM Vikram State. Please help me welcoming Gavelia Ananya Siju.
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, let's start. Paul Virilio once quoted, "The speed of light does not merely transform the world, it becomes the world." Globalization is the speed of light. Respected Toastmasters and my fellow Gaveliers, good evening. The topic for our debate is globalization has increased the rich-poor divide, and we as a team would like to present our case against the motion. According to Oxford Dictionary, Globalization is the fact that different cultures and economic systems around the world are becoming connected and similar to each other because of the influence of large multinational companies and of improved communication. The term globalization first appeared in the early 20th century and came into popular use in the 1990s. In the 21st century, globalization is an irreversible trend that brings with it a level of economic expansion, growth, and accessibility that is unprecedented in the history of mankind. Globalization creates job opportunities, which is a vital step in bridging the gap between the rich and the poor. As per World Bank report of 7th October 2020, the global extreme poverty rate fell from 10.1% in 2015 to 9.2% in 2017. Developing nations experience an improved standard of living thanks to globalization. Noah Smith, a famous journalist, in his article dated 24th September 2019, has mentioned that in the past 3 decades, there have been an ocean of change, and developing countries have made great strides in catching up with developed nations. Although inequality has risen within some nations, at the global level, it's going down. As per the UN report of 12 July 2019, India alone lifted 271 million people out of poverty between 2006 and 2016. Globalization allows companies to find ways to produce their products at lower cost. Lowered costs help people to live better on less money. It allows companies to find new, specialized talent that is not available in their current market. Thus, those people get an opportunity to develop themselves and earn a good living. Based on the above facts, statistics, and examples, we request the members of the House to unanimously reject the motion. Globalization has increased the rich-poor divide. Over to the moderator.
Thank you, Vanshika, for your speech. Next up, with a round of applause, please welcome speaker number 2 who is for the topic, Gavel Gupta. Gupta, sorry.
Excuse me?
Yes?
It is me after Ananya. I'm the rebuttal of against team. I'm Vanshika Shah and I have to tell right now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you, Ananya, for your speech. Coming up next, please welcome the second speaker who is against the motion, Gavel Vanshika Shah.
Thank you. My worthy opponent has tried to give us points to support that globalization has increased the rich-poor divide, which I strongly deny, and here is why. Globalization provides employment to the poor by giving them a chance in the production of goods at the first level, which in turn decreases poverty. I would have loved to have a war of wits with you, but I can clearly see that you are unarmed. I would request the opponent team to look into the new data of impact of globalization on Africa. The latest UN report on Africa states that the proportion of people living on less than $1 a day has decreased in 13 African countries. The opposition team has claimed that globalization decreases salary, which I can clearly prove pays less with the following report. A report by BBC News states the overall impact of transferring income from richer countries to poorer ones actually reduces inequality. I would also like to bring to your notice that more and more workers in various Asian countries like India are getting employed and seeing an increase in their wages because of globalization, which is clearly stated in the Gresham College report, which just proves our stance. The opposition team has also claimed that globalization leads to poverty, which I can also clearly prove wrong with this report. According to World Bank researchers, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Uganda, and Vietnam, to name just a few, have all succeeded in sharply reducing poverty over the last decade, which does nothing but strongly oppose the motion that globalization has increased the rich-poor divide. Inequality is a political choice. So don't blame globalization if your government fails to invest in workers' retraining. Blame your government. Blame yourselves, not globalization. Remember, there is no bad globalization. There is only badly managed globalization. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, Anshika, for your speech. Next up, with a round of applause, please welcome the second speaker who is for the topic, Gavel Alia Gupta.
Good evening, everyone. We, team at SBC, support the motion that globalization has increased the divide between rich and poor. Over last 30 years since globalization started, the rich became richer and the poor became poorer. I feel pity for my worthy opponents as they are trying to defend the cause they don't even believe in. And with so much preparation, they could come up with flawed, illogical, baseless arguments without any substantive evidences. Unfortunately, they didn't give me enough points to rebut. However, I will present my rebuttal on whatever points presented by my poor worthy opponents who became poorer due to globalization and lost their conscience. First, on job creation. Yes, it did create jobs, but only for the riches and not for poor. Super rich China became richer by killing numerous small industries across the world and making those nations poorer. As those small countries and businesses cannot afford the money China can invest in automating production. That was a totally contradictory argument. Second, on World Bank report. Yes, poverty went down, but report never says it's because of globalization. Wrong reference and evidence used. Third point on UN report. Yes, India created 271 million people, but due to its domestic policies and not because of globalization. Yes, India accomplished only 215 million out of 1 billion. Only 20%. Please tell us what happened to the other 80%. Number 4, access to new markets. I think my worthy opponents forgot the topic as this argument is totally unrelated from the topic and I can fully sympathize for them. In summary, I can only sympathize my opponents as they have been asked to defend a position which has no ground and doesn't need a debate. Their points on job creation, World Bank report, UN report, and access to new markets were flawed, illogical, and baseless, and I just confirmed that. With this, I rest my case reaffirming our position that globalization has increased the divide between rich and poor.
Thank you, Ayla, for your speech. Now we have the third speaker from Team Opposition. Help me in welcoming Gavel Vedika Chandra.
Am I visible and audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Good evening, respected judges, Toastmasters, and my dear Gaveliers. We, the opposition, are firmly against the motion globalization has increased the rich-poor divide. You can have no doubt left that globalization is actually helpful and has added to the development of the society by uplifting the poor. Globalization is like breathing. The 21st century survives on it. It is not a process that one can or should try to stop. As our opening speaker mentioned, globalization has brought with it economic expansion, growth, and accessibility. It has immensely increased the job opportunities, and this has largely helped in improving the living standards of the poor. And thus, globalization should not be accused of hurting lives. And as our rebuttal speaker clearly stated, there is no bad globalization, there is only badly managed globalization. I ask you all, where would we be today without globalization? Why would we move backwards in development? Globalization is one of the greatest development the world has ever seen. And it can only get better from here for you, your family, and everyone. As my rebuttal speaker even stated that India is now getting employees and there's even an increase in their wages, it's only because of globalization. Indonesia, Bangladesh, Uganda, and Vietnam, these are Asian countries and they are also poor. But they have risen out of poverty largely because of globalization. I firmly request all of my members of the House to unanimously reject the motion globalization has increased the rich-poor divide. Thank you.
Thank you, Vedika, for your speech. And the last speaker for the entire day is for the topic. Please help me welcome Gavel Sheena Fernando.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible and visible.
Having heard views from both parties, I am sure it is evident where the real facts stand. And in this case, the facts are quite obvious. Coming from South Asian countries, we only know too well what globalization has done for our economies and how we are much worse off than we were 20 to 30 years ago. Nevertheless, as my team and opening speaker correctly put out, globalization concentrates more on power, therefore marginalizing the poor. It has caused a high increase in specialization and trade, which has brought down the income and employment rates, consequently resulting in lower lifestyle standards. The gap thus continues and continues to widen as there is an increase in salaries for higher skilled workers and lowering salaries for lower skilled employees. Our second speaker, while she smashed our counter team speakers, precisely identified how over the 2 to 3 decades, the rich have become richer and the poor poorer. Moreover, how job creation suited wealthier people rather than people in third world countries. The intensified and highly unequal gap between the rich-poor divide due to what is called a crucial key to developing, more known as globalization, has been proved beyond doubt by our speakers. As Robert Wyatt most rightly states, the gap between rich and poor is widening greatly. The idea of building up the powers of people who are already powerful and keeping everyone else back is a recipe for endless misery and conflict. Unfortunately, that misery and conflict are very evident today. And as we as HSBC Gavel Club strongly believe and know that globalization is sadly the cause for the huge rich-poor divide in our society. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your speech. With that, we conclude all the speeches for the day. I must say that was an incredible competition to watch and all the best speakers present here. I would now like to hand over the stage to Councillor DTM Vinod. Thank you.
Thank you, Dhriti. I'll be just commencing the fourth round of poll. After that, you can hand over to our master of ceremony. Just bear a minute. Yeah. This is the final round of poll. One minute is over. The last 10 seconds. The poll is over. Now, Dhriti, you are there or you already hand over to our master of ceremony?
Sir, I'm here. Do I just hand it over?
Yeah.
All right.
Wonderful, wonderful moderator, all of you. And this is the time for you to hand over to the master of ceremony because we are running behind the schedule by almost 30-45 minutes.
Okay. So I now hand over the stage to the master of ceremony, Malvika. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you so much, Dhriti. And it was another fantastic debate round. And with this, we have come to an end, sadly. But truly speaking, it was like breathtaking, I would say. And I would also want to bring your attention to this particular point that we had a feedback session in our agenda, but considering the time that it won't be there, and instead, you guys, if anybody has got any feedback, please do message in the group. And also the certificates for the moderators, it will be given on 8th in our next debate day. And speaking as the master of ceremony, it was just great being your MC. Please. Okay. Yeah, it was great being your MC and I had a great time. I would express my sincere gratitude to the ones who gave me an opportunity to become this. And upon that note, I am handovering the virtual platform back to our counselor, Toastmaster Ann Thomas. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Malvika. Gratitude is not the only greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. DTM Vinod Metamal, cooperative counselors, enthusiastic debaters, and cheerful gaveliers, good evening. I deem it my privilege on behalf of Global Youth Gavel Clubs, Group D, to propose the vote of thanks for this fabulous debating session. At the outset, I extend my sincere gratitude to all those who have contributed in one way or the other to make this session a resounding success. Let me first acknowledge the efforts of the visionary behind this novel initiative, DTM Shri Kumar Pai. A big thank you is due to our Group D chairman, DTM Vinod Metamal, without whose meticulous planning and unstinted efforts, today's session would not have been possible. Lastly, I would be failing in my duty if I did not thank the counselors from the participating Gavel clubs for their sincere cooperation, both towards the group as well as to mold the Gaveliers. Lastly, but definitely not the least, the stalwarts without whose presence Gavel youth clubs would cease to exist, our ever enthusiastic and raring to go Gaveliers. Today's show was truly splendid, and you amazed each one of us with your debating skills. Kudos to you. Remember, dear Gaveliers, you have the world in front of you to seek out and explore. Gavel Club provides you just that opportunity to traverse through and attain excellence. Grab every opportunity that comes your way and perform to the best of your ability. Thank you for your presence and your confident spirit. God bless. In conclusion, let us all together continue this wonderful journey that we have embarked upon and scale to greater heights of success. Thank you, and over to DTM Vinod Metamal.
Thank you, Toastmaster and Thomas, for your very good words, which is really coming from your heart. So, and I'm also thankful, even if Toastmaster and already acknowledged, I would like to say that the support and the real soul behind the debate preparation and planning from each and every member club. I'm not naming the clubs considering the time that we are having in front of us. So each and every coordinator, they really put the pain to make all of this happen in this shape. So without further ado, I'll be sharing the award for the very tight and very what it is called the team. All the teams are performed in a very meticulous manner with their topic, even if the topic has its own plus and minus side. But after getting the topic, they really took it in their heart and fight for winning the position that they are having. So winning is not everything, and I'm not diluting the effect of winning. But the thing is that all of you Gaveliers, you really grown from your level, what you were been yesterday and what you are today, right now after the debate. So on that ground, all the 8 teams did a very wonderful job today as a Gavelier debate team. So now I'm sharing the result. Just give me a minute so that I can share the screen. And the winner for the debate 1 round is Team La Celeste Champions Gavel Club. Guys, a loud round of applause to the team La Celeste. Now, debate 2, who is the winner? Is there any prediction? No prediction in debate. Anything can happen. And the winner is Team ISM Shakespeare Oman. Debate 3. Who is the winner? Is there any prediction? No prediction in debate. And the winner is Team ISD Gavel Club Amethyst. Good round of applause, guys. Now, debate 4. Who is the winner? Is there any prediction? No prediction in debate, guys. The winner is Team ISM Vikram Seth. Please give them a good round of applause. Now all of you can enable your video and audio and make noise. Everyone.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. All of you are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
So we completed the first round, the preliminary round successfully.
Yes.
The next round will be on 8th of November. But considering the time that we have taken today, I think it is better to keep it 5:30 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. So we will be confirming in the group regarding the timing, and we will be making some additional arrangements in order to keep the time within the time limit so that we can start and complete the debate within the allotted time. Today, we know it is due to the technical problem and nobody can control that. And even if we had glitches in the beginning, but afterwards it went well in a smooth manner. So congrats to all the winning team, and my pleasure to all the moderators who did their role in an amazing manner. Even if you have been doing this first time as a moderator of a debate, you did better than me in the real spirit. Yeah. So thank you very much for that. So next debate, that is final round, who will be the role players? We will be determining, we will be having another round of counselors meeting in between, and we will be deciding the role players for the next round of debate. Okay. Thank you very much from my side. If anyone want to make a 1 or 2 minute comments, this is the time for that before we are closing. We will be closing by 9:10. 9:10 UA time. Anyone? Or I will be giving 1 minute time for all the counselors. Just 1 minute.
I will take less than a minute. Well, just only one word from me. It's amazing. Amazing amount of talent. Every speaker, every club, every team put their heart in this debate. And I must say, like, everybody is a winner here. Normally, I take this quote, the cups and performance for the shelf, the experience for the self. So everybody learned something, and then they take home back with good experience. This will last long. All the very best for all the participants.
Thank you very much. Toastmaster Ankit Mehra. Toastmaster Ankit Mehra, are you there? No. Then Toastmaster Alok Gupta.
Sure. Thank you. Thanks so much, DTM Vinod and everyone in making this event happen. And I must say, sometime you don't have words to explain. And this is one of those moments. The whole event was a treat for myself to listen and watch two young Gaveliers, the way they performed. And I'm sure for many of the Gaveliers, this was their first attempt, if not all. I would say probably for majority of the Gaveliers, this was first attempt. And they did fantastic job in all three segments of opening, rebuttal, and closing. It was indeed a treat to watch you all. And I really look forward to for the next meeting, for the next event. And I wish all the best to all the Gaveliers.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Alok Gupta. Now, Toastmaster Sunita Prakash from ISM Shakespeare.
Good evening, sir. It was an awesome learning process to train
Can you enable the video?
Gaveliers. Sir?
Can you enable the video?
Sir, I have an issue with my laptop.
Okay, no problem. Continue.
Next time I'll try to join through the phone, which is not convenient.
No worries at all.
Sir, it was an awesome learning process with the Gaveliers preparing for their debate, and we also learned so many things. And they performed extremely well beyond their limits with their exams, online classes, and schedule. I convey my hearty congratulations to all of you who have participated in this debate. You can go ahead. Future is open for you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now from ISM Vikram Seth, Toastmaster Niti Matthew or Dimple Cow.
Congratulations to each one of you. It was an outstanding performance. I cannot say that is the winner. Okay, winner should be there for a competition. Otherwise, each and everyone should be a winner. You are the winner. And all the role players, outstandingly they were performing. It's a very good platform and you all utilized your maximum. And as our coordinator said, you are not the same person as you were yesterday. And there are you will grow up, and we will see in the next upcoming sessions with a much more energetic, much more prepared team. All the best to all of you.
Thank you. All the best to all of you. Now, this is the end of our today's session.
Thank you, sir.
Mamata, you want to say something? Sorry.
No, sir. Yes, no, sir. So great efforts, sir. Great efforts by all the Gaveliers and a successful outcome, and much more in future. And keep up this. And all the best to all the Gaveliers. Thank you
good.
So much.
Did I miss any other counselor?
Yes, sir. All the best, and it was a fantastic, fantabulous session, sir. Everybody had put heart and soul in this session. In fact, the counselors, everybody, moderators, I wish them all the best for the future. Don't lose your heart. This is just a beginning. Go ahead, work hard, and give tough competition. All the best.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dimple. Thank you very much. Any other counselor? No. Anyone want to make any remarks at the closing remarks? No. So all the best to all of you. We will meet on 8th of November, that is Sunday, around 5:30 p.m. The confirmed intimation will be coming to you through your respective counselors. Thank you very much. I'm closing the meeting.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.